Welcome back to this Jack. Hey, Trickster. Glad to see you. Ugh. Yeah, I know I didn't stream this weekend. Hang on, I think I got something playing that shouldn't be playing. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. Basically, the usual stuff. Do you see a movie this weekend? Usually got a good report. What to talk about. I do know that the apparently, like, you're the only one who, like, you're one of the few people who think that I just realized I forgot to take my glasses off. Put my contacts in. I'll do that when I take a break. Anyway, I don't like wearing my glasses when I stream, mostly because... Let me know how the Mission Impossible is. I know you're getting an early screening of it. And Persona 5... Which, Persona 5 Royal or just Persona 5? There is a difference. Because Persona 5 Royal is basically like with all the expansion and DLC stuff. And it adds a lot to the story. Like, a lot. Okay, good. Because I started playing Royal at first, and I didn't get that far into it, thankfully. And then later on, when they released Royal for PC, I picked it up and played through that, and it was so much better. All right, I do have good news. I did finally get the goddamn Tempest Roar. It just dropped out of a chest, and I was just so happy. I'm so happy. You have it on the Switch? Yeah, that's a good way to play it. Like, legitimately, it's a good way to play it. The game is long as hell, especially if you're someone like me who likes to collect things. And you'll just run around collecting all the weird monsters. It's from the same company, Shinigami Tensei. I think it's how it is. I think it's even technically called Shinigami Tensei Persona. So a lot of the monsters carry over between the two. Like, I know the weird Ice Frost Man. I forget his name right now. He shows up in both, and a lot of the magic spells are the same across the board. Um, I am going to say, if you have questions about how to unlock some of the cooler things, let me know. But the more people you're friends with, the more you can unlock some of the more, let's call it BAMF creatures that you can use. You also can evolve the ones they use. But I'm not going to go into that. Like, unless you want me to spoil some things for you, I'm not going to say shite. All right. So right now, my goal is just to get better resources for this build. Because, like, the armor, not the best. It no good. It could be so much better, but I need to get more better stuff for it. I don't know why I decided to drop into that accent. But I have the basics down for this build. So right now, my goal is to just... I don't want to use that, because I'm going to just drop it. Because it's got mana burn on it, which means that if I get hit by a ranged person, they'll strip me of my spirit, which means I can't use my abilities, which is garbage. I didn't work out most of last week, so I'm a little disappointed with myself, but I also knew I needed to heal, because like my right elbow was really starting to hurt me when I was lifting. And so I felt it was a good idea to rest it. So I couldn't do most of my upper body exercise, because almost all of them use my elbow to some degree. I did lift slightly, but it was extremely light weights. It was mostly to keep the motion. Who is that? I can't remember his name. I can't remember him by name. Hang on. Oh, that guy, yeah. Like, almost all the people who's... Yeah. Only one person whose brain you go into to deal with that is unredeemable. Only one of them is redeemable. Only one. And you'll know who it is as soon as you do it. Klein. No, like, Persona 5 does a great job of creating these villains that you believe are real. Like, you can legitimately believe are real. Um, that was weird. I am fighting things below my level right now, so, because I'm still trying to get this build right. So some of my gear is not, like, doesn't have the specs I want it for. And I'm not doing the Stormcasting build like I originally wanted. I'm just doing the Shred build. The Blacklist? There's a lot of them, like, especially in that game, a lot of them have, like, some really dark stuff. Like, really dark stuff within their character. I'm out of spirit. So, we talked about this previously, about, like, fantasy stuff. Like, one of the big problems a lot of fantasy stuff will run into is you want to make your villains believable, but you want to also not make them redeemable. Because one of the problems you'll run into is like Poison Ivy and Catwoman. Yeah. As I said before, like almost all the characters you're going to go into in that game are irredeemable. Almost all. There's like one or two that you could technically call redeemable. Kamoshida. Like I'm trying to think of like other characters. Like you can argue all the bad guys in Guts, or in Berserk, like every bad guy in there. But then again, they're literal demons. Oh no, I'm flipping over to that. I would argue pretty much any of them from Berserk. The Joker would obviously be on that list if it wasn't for he's so damn entertaining. Like by default, everybody would be like, "Hey, you know." But that's an obvious one. I think I don't think anyone would try to defend the Joker as a good guy. I legitimately can't imagine anybody going, "Oh, the Joker's the good guy." No, he's not. I haven't seen the Overlord anime. It's one of those I've heard good things about, but I just haven't seen it. Oh, bit of shopkeeping. This Friday, it may not be in the best quality, but I am going to try and do my coffee over gaming stream. It should be noon. That's why I moved this stream to 3 p.m. So because that's only supposed to be like a 30-minute to an hour stream. But over on my Coffee Over Gaming channel, I'm going to do a stream. It's going to be just me pretty much covering, like, some of the stuff I cover here, but it's going to be just dedicated to that, where I talk about, like, some of the news I see that I want to talk about. And the format is I'm going to cover what I want to say, get my rant out of the way, and then I'll have a segment where I respond to what people have to say about it. And it's not going to be politics. It's going to be straight, like, gaming, geek stuff. Oh! Although I'm not a fan of the anime, like, anymore. I used to be, I'm not gonna lie. That one guy from SAO, like, the bad guy for the second half. Like, him definitely. Wild Impulses, that makes it interesting. Wild Impulse is what I think it is. Oh, I don't even take Wild Impulses for this build. Oh, that's interesting. Like, that guy legitimately is a villain. Like, there is no redeeming quality about him. Like, he was using a video game to try and reprogram people's minds, and while at the same time holding Ashina, or how do you say it, Asuna, as a hostage to you know, R-word her. And then on top of that, like, he was trying to, like, as I said, he was trying to use the technology, to brainwash people, and, which I think it did technically succeed, because, if I remember correctly, one of the later arcs, they actually revealed that the, SAO system was being used to train kid soldiers, if I remember correctly. Because you did see with, like, Kirito, that after his time in there, he was able to, a lot of his muscle memory for fighting carried over. Now, one of my problems with SAO is, one, it's extremely rushed, but there's also just a lot of details they could have gone over that would have made it feel so much more real. One example being Bull3 actually does a good job. That's why I'm pausing. I'm trying to get it right in my head. I never got the SAO games. I would like the Gun Gale, because I would love a game like Gun Gale, or hell, even a game that's kind of like SAO, just doesn't even need to be you get pulled into it. Because like the idea of you just having an obscene amount of skills that you level up to make your character, that sounds really cool. Now I know I think there is a game that I think it just died, was it Rune World? But no, like a game like that where you where you equipped and de-equipped skills to make your class effectively your class, and probably as a workaround for it, if you die while having the skill equipped, it goes down. And then you can have a shit ton of crafting classes, and then once again, like your gathering classes, if you don't have the proper gathering class equipped, then you can't find certain material. You just can't find it. So you can't have, like, you just can't hire other people to go farming. I do like that idea. Especially if it's got a good player economy. I'd like one similar to, like, Eve, for instance. That'd be cool. Because Eve has got a very legit economy to it. If a little overboard. We're not going to be on the werewolf, not my werewolf, the druid the whole time. I just wanted to play them a little bit on stream, because I didn't get to play them very much after I got the helmet, because my buddy Mad Techie wanted to start playing Icarus, which is one of my favorite crafting survival games of all time. And just because of it solves one of the biggest problems I have with crafting survival. We'll get to that in a second. But no, like, so Beaufry, what it did was, at one point during, like, I think it was the second event, she comes out of it, Maple comes out of it, after, like, it was effectively in-game a week, but in reality it was just, like, a day or two. Not even that. But she comes out, and she effectively has, like, a form of PTSD. Like, not, like, traumatic, like, where it's bad. See when you get back. But basically what happens is she responds... Oh, I'm still in the big screen. I just realized that. Sorry. Bet y'all saw that. We're just like, how long until he notices? Anyway, but she effectively had PTSD during that time when she came out, and it wasn't like traumatic, like where she was like breaking down or anything. It was more of just that she responded as if she was still in the game. Like she was playing dodgeball and someone threw a ball at her, and she responded with her as she would if she had her giant shield, because that's what she had been doing for a long time. And her friend even warned her that would happen. So, like, the idea of that is actually really fascinating to me. That gets ingrained. And I think SAO missed the mark, because, like, Kyoto, for instance, was trapped in there for a year. Asuna for another year, or another couple months. And she walks out of it roughly okay. Like, mentally not scarred. Like, I would imagine with, like, a guy who was... a guy who was effectively controlling her life the way he was, that she would be a lot more, hey, don't touch me kind of thing. Ooh, interesting. This is the first time I've seen this one. Up to 16% chance to freeze an enemy for 2 seconds. That's actually a very interesting glove, but it would probably definitely be better for a sorcerer, so I'll hang on to that. Because I do want to level up a sorcerer. Probably gonna do one more nightmare, and then I'll flip over to. I might level up a sorcerer. I actually do want to play a barbarian. That's what I want to play. But in Gothic, if she plays a necromancer, I'll be playing a barbarian. And I don't want to like level up the character over her. So we might make a sorcerer. An ice sorcerer, because I did electricity the first time, and the electricity one is incredibly easy, or incredibly powerful. But the problem is, it becomes very much a walk forward, hold X ability, or hold basic ability. In which, as y'all saw with me doing it with this character, I don't like it. Oh, I did level up and I did get an ability point. Awesome. I'm gonna refrain from doing X. I'm following a build. I'm sorry, I keep having to clear my sinuses. It's bothering me. Alright, we're gonna do one more and then I'll go make the sorcerer. Blind Burrow sounds nice. And I'm melee, so it doesn't matter to me. And when I do take my break, I actually might take it extremely early at 30, just so I can put in my contacts, because me wearing my glasses right now is bothering me a lot. And I need to finish another set. I was going to do all my workouts before getting on stream, but Zane was laying on top of my bench, and I'm not moving Zane. Like, I've been stuck in bed for over an hour because he's just laying on me.
Hello there.
Yeah, one of my friends helped me figure out a couple more things to add to my soundboard. And I felt the Obi-Wan Kenobi "Hello There" was a good choice. I need, but by extension, I also need to add the General Kenobi one, because if somebody else says "hello there" when they enter chat, I'm gonna have to have that button on standby. I had another one. I can't remember what it is. Hang on.
Ooh, you suck.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. As a movie fan, you cannot be mad at me for adding that one. You cannot. You are literally not allowed to. So I'm gonna tell you this, and it'll make you realize why I feel dumb. It took me a long time to realize the significance of Obi-Wan Kenobi saying "hello there," and that sounds like a weird thing to say. Like, okay, what's the significance? The first thing he says to R2-D2 is "hello there." Okay, I didn't get them all, so now I just have to survive. Now, what's the point of the timer if the meme is so old? Okay, you're fair on that one. That's a fair one. Just like I don't like the Dom Toretto family is strong kind of bullshit. Like, that gets annoying to me fast. Like, that's fair. That's actually a fair answer. I'll give you that one. Now, if you're wondering if I'll stop using it...
No.
Yep. And that's why like it didn't dawn on me the importance of him saying it in that in Clone Wars, because like growing up there was a distinct separation in my mind between the Obi-Wan Kenobi of Clone Wars, or the original series, or the prequel series, than there is to the main series. Like, there just was this mental disconnection. They were almost separate movies in my head, even though I intellectually knew they weren't. So the idea that him saying "hello there" was just a specific thing, because just adds a little bit more weight to him saying it. I actually might stop using the staff that I'm using, because the build I was looking at actually recommended a different unique weapon, and I happen to have it, so I might give it a try. And you're right, it was the first words he said to Luke, not R2-D2. But one thing that's really funny to me, because Star Wars fans are ravenous, like when it comes to like continuity and stuff. See when you get back. They're ravenous when it comes to continuity, and in the Revenge of the Sith movie. Was it Revenge of the Sith? Anyway, one of the movies. Anakin says to Grievous, "You're shorter than I expected." And because he said that one line, that implied that they had never met each other. And because they never met each other, that meant for the whole Clone Wars TV series, they could not have Anakin and Grievous ever meet. So they had to work so hard to make sure those two were never in the same scene together. And I just freaking love that detail. And it's something that's incredibly stupid. Oh, let me turn off the music. Makes me feel like I'm less having to yell.
Ready yet. I'm low on spirit.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to bring up right now. I'm going to take that quick break when I go to switch between Druid and Sorcerer. Just, once again, to change out my glasses. See how fast I melt this guy. Pretty damn quick. Staff Ancestral. Which means it's just a new version of this staff. And it's much weaker. I think it has a higher, like, item... No, like, the one I've got is much better. I can't even hold on to it. Wait, actually, that one might have been okay. Oh, no, it's because it's built on overpower. Alright, is there any other one I have equipped that needs to level? Oh, this one needs it. This one needs all that love. Alright. So I'm going to teleport out, and then I'm going to take that quick break so I can put in my contacts. Oh! Alright, BRB. Yeah! Alright, I'm back. That was before I was taking a quick break so I could switch over to my contacts. Like, I don't know why, like, earlier, like, my contacts were actually weighing on my face. Like, I was, really aware of them. Made no sense. I'm making a new character. In all honesty, I shouldn't be playing this right now, because I'm gonna... Because, we got the new, we got the season coming up. And I don't want to completely burn myself out completely. Sibidea? That's just not a bad name. Oh, shit. I'm skipping a lot. There we go. And we'll make them blue markings. Not that you can really tell. What these blue markings? That's better. And then hair. I'm leaning towards that ponytail. Actually, I like this pony. No, I don't like the way it poofs up at the top, so we'll just go with the ponytail. No real facial hair. Like, I always feel like blonde is like the hardest color to put in a game. Just because, like, if you do it, it always feels like it's more yellow. It's more yellow than actual gold. Alright, I have ability points to spend. We're 100% going to go ice. Probably make a few other tweaks along the way, but we'll go ice. I always went Frost Orb. Let's check out Ice Shards. There we go. Alright, let's give this a go. I'm not going to bother with aesthetics or anything because I'm level 1. And mind you, it's not a hardcore character, so if I die, it's not a big deal. Because I've done that before where I made a hardcore character and they died almost immediately. So I was like, oh. So I made a weird rule that I don't bother about cosmetics until level 10.
Not while I'm in town.
Not while I'm in town. Just gotta go knock out a few people and level up from that. Yeah, this level, anything I pick up is by default better than my current stuff. The fun, slow process of leveling. I'll save that for later. Nope, I'll go ahead and pick it up now, because there is none over there that I like. I just remembered. Like, yeah, the frozen swords are cool, but... eh. That's why you have increased health. Okay.
I need time.
What you got? What you got inside your trunk? Uh-huh. My lovely lady. I'm so home. Check it out. No, I'm not sorry. Alright. Let's go ahead and do glass cannon, because I want to melt people with ice. Much sense as that makes. Figure I'd just run through here because it'll definitely get me some loot. Is that better than what I'm currently wearing? Yeah, by a little bit.
I'm low on precious mana.
Oh, finally got a headpiece. I'm a little behind on making my videos, and that's actually weighing on me a little bit. Like, 'cause I had recorded up like 3 separate videos I was gonna do, but I was like, I went to go edit them, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, these are garbage. Like, I didn't have like really good energy behind them. I just, eh. So I only used like one of it. So I do got to re-record some stuff. They were all Bleach related, so like I don't know if like anybody's gonna care, because not because Bleach is not popular. You got the new thousand year blood arc going on, so a lot of people are paying more attention to Bleach. One of them that might get turned into a longer video, depending if when I reshoot it, if it's still long, was the explanation of what's the deal with Ichigo Zanpakuto. And I think I know how I can explain it. Because like the way they did his stuff is like, I think it's a combination of them not having a real idea for a lot of it, but also that I don't think I can use sight. Yeah, I can't use sights with this character. Like they didn't have a distinct plan for some of it. With a combination of, welcome back, them not having a distinct plan for like what they were going to do with his like Zanpakuto and all that stuff, while at the same time yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like, there's really not much else I can say. They didn't have a plan for like a lot of it. So, and another anime that had a problem with this is actually Naruto. Is probably the best example of an anime that didn't have a plan for what they wanted to do, but the anime / manga went on a lot longer than they expected, so they had to start like cobbling together all these things. So probably the best example is, so in the original plan, Minato was going to be the most powerful Hokage they ever had, and he's really, like, by the time they actually introduced the other ones, he's not, because like when you see the first Hokage and the second Hokage fight, Minato is more afraid of the fourth coming back than the other two, and also the third was able to fight them on relatively equal terms. Now later on it's retcon that they weren't resurrected at full power. They were resurrected at like about 10% power, if that. Nothing really. I just flipped over to playing a sorcerer, like I said. Went and got my contacts in. We didn't miss anything. I'm just talking about like how I had a record session. I ended up just deleting all the records because I just didn't like the energy I had in the video. But yeah, no, like, so with like that's how Naruto like that's just an example. And I think there was always a plan that the fourth Hokage was Naruto's dad. I think that was always the case, and they kind of try to hide it because if you notice, like they never like show his face throughout a lot of it. Because that is something that does irk me in a lot of stories. Like now that I'm actually working it out in my head, where you have like the original Hokages were infinitely more powerful than the current ones. What's that?
I lack the needed mana.
Because Bleach has got its own issues with me. Because I'm not a fan of like the Chosen One story mechanics, which Bleach is particularly bad about. So I'm definitely going to be like working on remaking the video where I talk about like his Zanpakuto and like what's really going on with it. Now I could be 100% wrong that they did that because I do know that they hadn't plotted out like the whole Nine Tails thing as well as they ended up being. I know. Yeah, he had enough spiritual awareness, but you also have that one girl who was like a karate user was able to sense it. Now, here's one weird thing that like I don't remember anyone bringing up. I can't remember her name, but she was able to like she had spiritual awareness to see ghosts and stuff too after everything after the Hollows started messing around. But here's a problem. Like I wish they had done more with her to be honest. She was able to sense Aizen. We need to talk about that. She was able to sense Aizen. The captains weren't able to sense how powerful Aizen had become by that point. But she could. Like, I really feel like that needs to be brought up. Now, arguably, now if you really wanted to argue it, you could say Aizen was lowering himself to that level so that he could intimidate them and play around. Now, whether that's the case, no idea. Because we later, like, in the Thousand Year Blood arc, and Aizen's gotten more powerful since then, he's able to, he killed a Soul Reaper just by them touching him. Because his Retsu, or Soul Energy, is just that obscene.
I'm low on precious mana. I need time to prepare.
Oh shit, I didn't see the flesh bubbles going on. Alright, cool. Yeah, I kind of suspected something was going on. Like, we knew his mom was something special. We knew that. Because she saw the hollow. She saw the hollow that ended up killing her. She saw it, which means that she was a medium to some degree too. So we knew something was up with her. But the fact that she was a Quincy is actually an even bigger deal. And at that, she was a member of the noble family. And not only was his dad a hollow, his dad was a captain. And not only a captain, he was from a noble family. He's from the Great Five noble families, which is a really big deal. That's part of, like, one of the most powerful hollows ever. One of the noble families of Quincy, which are powerful in their own right. And one of the most powerful Shinigami noble families. And you got Ichigo. Now, I do argue his two sisters should be a lot more powerful. Yes, they don't have the hollow powering them up as much. or at all, but they still are Quincy Soul Reapers. Oh? You have not been paying attention then. His mom was not only a Quincy, she was turning into a hollow at the time. The hollow named White was possessing her, taking over her body. Her husband, Ichigo's dad, turned himself into a human using a Gigai, a special Gigai that bound their souls so that the hollow would not take her over. And their kid, White, moved on to take over, to inhabit Ichigo's body. And Ichigo's dad suppressed his own Soul Reaper powers to make sure Ichigo was not taken over by White. So Ichigo is all three. Oh, and he's a full bringer too, because fuck you, why not? The full details of that are explained in the last 2 episodes of the first half of the Thousand Year War arc, but it's always been hinted. It's always been hinted he had a connection to Hollows. Now, it was first suggested that his Hollow connection came from when he first went true Soul Reaper, not when Rukia Kuchiki turned him into a Soul Reaper, but when I can't remember his name right now. Hang on, I can do it. Do it. The guy who trains him, the blonde-haired guy who trains him, when he turned him into a full Soul Reaper, the guy Ichigo was turning into a hollow at the last minute, and then he turned into a Soul Reaper. That's arguably why he became a Visored. But in reality, it's because, and if you the reverse Ichigo that's been in him the whole time, that's his hollow side. That's his true Zanpakuto. The old man he's talking to is actually his Quincy powers suppressing his true Shinigami powers. So that's actually what's the deal with Ichigo's Zanpakuto. His first version was just an augmented version of Rukia's. The second one was the Quincy side of him making a fake version. The third one, which he got when he was a Fullbringer, was the same thing, just with a bit of his Fullbringer powers in it. And then the fourth one, his true one, is created when he accepts his hollow side and he becomes a dual-wielding one. That's his true Zanpakutos. And I want to see the second half. Like, they've already started airing the first... They already aired the first episode. They should be airing the second episode soon. I want to watch it, but it's on Hulu. And I do have Disney Plus, and you're supposed to get free Hulu if you have Disney Plus, but I haven't like played around with it. Because I did have a Hulu account, but I canceled because I couldn't. Yeah, that makes sense. That'd actually be kind of cool. Man, by the way, some fanfics get vicious. Like, not in a bad way of vicious, but like, they're written by a really good writer, and they just destroy you emotionally. Like, probably a good example would be this My Hero Academia one I was reading. Yeah. But and then it makes the whole, like, when he first appeared and turned a guy hollow, really awkward. That he knew what he was doing, or he was working to... similar to Hat and Clogs, whose name is Kisuke Urahara. That's his name. He might be like somewhat working like Kisuke Urahara does, where he doesn't like intentionally steps himself in. He lets other people work, but he works in the shadows. Like, that would check out. But no, like I was gonna say, the My Hero Academia one I was reading, like it messed with me. Like, I know I talked about this like couple streams in a row now, but it messed with me. And it's from something that the actual manga does all the time too, anyway. So it like, yeah, oh, that's fine. Tell them hi. Okay, I actually do have a decent amount. Ooh, Highland trousers. No, but today I feel good. I do need to go out. I do need to make the habit of going out and talking to people and going out and doing things. Like I know I've said this on stream multiple times now, but I keep saying it because I feel the more I say it, the more it becomes concreted in my head. And probably the first thing I can do is probably like actually go to the gym instead of working out from home. Which I'm gonna see if I can do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays since my live streams take up a lot of my time. Because if I were to go do it today, I either would have had to woken up early, which I didn't, or I would have to have go after stream, which means I'd have to end stream a lot earlier, which I'm probably gonna be a 2-hour stream if that. Like today, I just don't have the mojo to have a long stream. I jumped into
I
that.
need time to prepare.
No, 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 no.
I'm out of mana. I'm not ready yet.
Can I unfreeze? Can I unfreeze? There we go. That almost got me. I do need to go for a walk. If my friend's not home from work to game with me, I'll probably go for a walk. At least I can get some cardio in. That'd be a good idea. I do need to hit up the Whole Foods place that's up the street because like every time I get like fruits and vegetables from Walmart these days, the fruits are bad the next day. Like they don't last that long. All right, I'm gonna do the cosmetic stuff. I know I'm only level 8, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the cosmetic stuff now because the way I look right now is atrocious. I'm curious what the whole Warlord set looks like, assuming I have it. I do have the Warlord gauntlets. Cool. I do have the whole Warlord set. That's awesome. Means I don't need to tweak the color, which is cool. Let's change the way my stuff I'm holding looks. I'll go with the floating eyeball thing. Although a book would be nice. Yeah, we'll go with the Enigma cube, now that I'm thinking of it. And then, yeah, we'll go with that knife. There we go. Oh, my head's hurting. I do need to start jogging, but only when my knees... I start trusting my knees. I definitely need to do more leg day stuff. Devourer of souls. Can't wait until I hit level 15 with this character.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm out of mana. I'm not ready yet.
Low on precious mana.
Oh, good. I didn't unlock a new tier. Good. Because I've been wanting to do Blizzard. Alright. I don't think my head's in it today. Yeah. After I finish this up here, this little event, I'm gonna bring the stream to an end. Just I don't got it in me today. I'm really sorry, everybody. I ain't got it. I've just got way too much on my mind, and it's honestly stressing me out a little bit.
Out of mana once again.
Alright, how much more do I need for you? Alright, I'm gonna start walking your way. Keep forgetting I actually do have a mount. Not what I was after.
I need time to prepare that.
I wouldn't mind doing the event, but let's go do this, and then I'm gonna bring the stream to an end. I just don't got it in me today.
I need time to
There
prepare
we go.
that.
All right. Teleporting back, and then we'll bring it there. So I am sorry for the short stream. I just don't have the energy in me today. I got a shit ton on my mind that's kind of weighing me down a lot. Yeah. I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right?